I do this for my culture, to let them know what a nigga look like when a nigga in a roaster. Show them how to move.
Good morning, everybody. It's the For the Culture podcast. We definitely have our special guest today. Go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know exactly what you do.
My name is Shantell Leann. I am an esthetician and a makeup artist.
Ooh, can you tell us about what estheticians do?
Esthetician is basically skincare, paying attention to the skin. A lot of people in our generation don't take skin seriously. We go in the sun every day, from the moment you sit in your car, from the moment you walk from your front door, and the sun attacks you. No matter what your complexion is, it's very important to take care of your skin. Your skin is your health, and your skin also shows how you take care of your body. If you eat well, if you drink water, if you're in an area that's super polluted, things like that. So skincare is extremely important.
Okay, so when did you get interested in doing this type of stuff, and what inspired you to get into that?
Well, it's a long story, actually. I got into makeup when I was about, 16. When I was in 5th grade, my parents noticed I had something growing on my skin, and kids started to bully me for it. It looks like dark lesions that grow all over the body, something like bruises, and when I would scratch, they would begin to bleed. So it covered my chest, my face, my back, and kids would call me a Dalmatian. Kids are really cruel. So I would come home crying every single day, and my parents didn't really understand what it was. So to help me cope with it through middle school, because kids are really, really mean, and middle school is a really crucial moment in your life, my mom took me to MAC and started buying me makeup, just to hide it until we could figure out what it was I was suffering with. When I got into high school, the passion started to grow. I hopped on YouTube, which is the holy grail for a lot of people, and I started to watch tutorials of women doing eyeshadow, makeup, just trying to learn what I can do to kind of hide the lesions I was growing with.
Did you ever find out what it was?
Yes, actually on my 18th birthday, I went to a dermatologist and found out I was diagnosed with something called papillomatosis. It's not the same as cervical cancer, but it's basically a benign tumor that grows on the skin. It doesn't contain cancer in it, but it's almost like, think of it like a mushroom. It sprouts out of your skin, and it doesn't go away.
So it never goes away?
No, it's something I have to live with, unfortunately. I could only control it. There's no cure. I was really upset because I was like, this is something I gotta live with for the rest of my life. I felt like it held me back because my skin is something really important. People see your face every day. So I started doing research online. There's no information on the internet about papilloma because it's very rare. Not a lot of people have it. I'm the only person in my family with it. I have a twin sister who also does not have it. So it was really hard for me. I took it extremely hard, and I just tried Googling things all the time just to figure out what I can do. And what's crazy is I think about a year ago, I decided to Google it one more time after I actually did a YouTube video about it, because there's nothing on YouTube about it either. And I found out that it's something that is rare, that affects people who are usually overweight. So the only cure is to stay in shape. But there are times where it does come back. It has a lot to do with being in the sun. A lot of sun exposure makes it worse. So I have to be fully protected with sunscreen. I have to make sure I take my medication all the time. The medication is ridiculously expensive. So that's
what type of medication it became?
It's an ointment that...
So it's topical?
Topical.
Like Retin A or something like that?
It's a hydrocortisone, and it's a very high dosage that you have to get through a doctor. You can't just buy it at a store. And you have to get prescribed, and I want to say it's about $150 a bottle.
Oh, wow.
It's extremely expensive.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I struggled with because it's expensive. It's costing my pockets. So I wanted to find ways I could get rid of this without going broke. So I tried being vegan last year, and it helped my lesions go away.
I was just about to say that. I think it's probably what you eat.
It is, definitely.
All the chemicals and stuff we put in our bodies,
The diet.
It can happen to any one of us.
Yeah.
It's the diet.
Yeah.
It can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
There's definitely more info on it now if you Google it, but still limited information. They don't give too much information. And I also feel like the medical field, it's more so about making money, not necessarily helping me lose what I'm suffering from.
It's always been about money.
Always, since day one. So makeup was my scapegoat. It was the way I was able to hide it. It was definitely an insecurity that I had turned into something positive. The people that would bully me in school are now the same people who book me.
Come to you.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
definitely.
I'm sorry, but can you do makeup?
Definitely. So I was able to turn something negative into a positive in my life and make it into a career that I'm passionate about. I don't feel like I work a day at all.
Did you do any like celebrities in the body big time yet?
Actually, I have. Well, at the time, I didn't know they were celebrities.
Okay.
So a little bit more about my makeup career. I started on Instagram. I would post myself every day. I was the only person on my page, and I actually had someone on Instagram discover me. Her name was Deandra. She is the CEO of Nosworthy Creations. She is actually in charge of carnival makeup. We travel all over to different carnivals, and we actually produce the makeup. The cool thing about Nosworthy Creations is that we're very diverse, and we have a large team of people who we actually work with Swarovski crystals. We're able to do makeup all over the body, airbrushing, literal artists from all over. And we're able to go to different places and work with different people. And I believe last carnival, I did makeup for a Bayesian artist. I can't remember her name, but I did have pictures of her. And she was such a sweetheart. I was a little nervous because they told me like 5 minutes before she was in my chair that I was doing makeup on her, so I had to like be to the T. But she loved it, and it was so much fun. And actually, a week ago, I did makeup for another reggae artist from Jamaica named iOctane. I don't know if you guys listen to reggae music. He had an interview at Circle House Studios in Miami, and I had the pleasure of being there for his interview and doing makeup for his team. And it was such a blessing, such a great opportunity to meet them, and I really enjoyed it. So I definitely know there's more in store for me.
So it's like guy makeup, girl makeup.
Yes.
So what's
Minimal for men, of course, but.
So what do you put on a dude? As far as
Well, when you're on camera, a lot of times your skin gets oily. You look like you're dripping with sweat. Just a powder.
Entertainers that
So
are
like
men.
a foundation.
Yeah, not even. A lot of men don't like wearing makeup, and I feel bad when I have to put it on them. Yeah, definitely.
You have another choice though if you're on camera.
Yeah. So I give them bare minimum. Bare minimum.
Do you lean towards more of makeup or esthetician?
Makeup.
Why?
Just because it's something I started when I was young, when I was in high school. It's something I'm more passionate about. I've always been into colors and avant-garde looks. I'm not into the natural. I mean, I'm natural now, yes, but natural looks, that's basic for me. I want something that's gonna stand out. I like people to stare at me and ask me, where are you going? Like, the makeup's extravagant. I like drawing people's attention. So avant-garde makeup has always been my thing, and that's why carnival has always been my passion, because I'm able to do whatever comes to mind. I just go with the flow with my looks.
What made you decide to go natural?
Well, after I was able to overcome what I was struggling with, I was no longer insecure about my skin. I would have strangers all the time come up to me and be like, what's wrong with your skin? And I got tired of explaining myself. After I turned it into a passion, I learned to embrace my skin. I don't want people to think that I wear makeup because I'm insecure about it. I want people to know that this is something I overcame and I embrace what I look like. It's not something that I'm going to use to hold me back. A lot of people and a lot of women wear makeup to hide flaws. That's the common truth, believe it or not.
They be fucking my head anyway.
I know, with the catfish, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, so what do you have to say about like the use of makeup to like be like a fraud? Or like the use of makeup,
I feel like
how do you feel about it? Is it okay to, you can do whatever you want with makeup, or you feel like there is a limit and
To how much
Or-
you put on,
Yes,
or
there is
what
a
kind
limit.
of color you put on, because you know there's some girls that they're really light and they'll mimic like skin disorders,
Right.
or like just to like show that they can, I don't know, have you seen that?
Yeah,
like, where
I
they
feel like
mimic.
It's a time and place for everything. A time and place for a look, a time and place for every type of style of makeup that you wear. I feel like a lot of women have to learn to embrace and love yourself before you decide to even dabble in makeup. I have a lot of clients who, I don't even know how to explain it, but for example, in the Jamaican community, a lot of women bleach their skin.
Is it not bad for you?
It's horrible for your skin, horrible, but it's cooler to be light-skinned in Jamaican culture. So I have clients who prefer for me to make their skin like 3-4 shades lighter. Even though they know that they're darker, they want me, they request me.
you can do that?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes,
So
but
you're
it
able
doesn't
to
look
bleach,
good.
so you bleach people's skin before?
I don't bleach.
It's like you make
I
it
just
look
give them a
the
lighter color of makeup because that's what they prefer. It ruins the skin. In the long run, bleaching your skin makes it 10 times worse. When you stop bleaching, it actually makes you 10 shades darker than what you were before. So it's something you have to maintain for the rest of your life as well. Right, and I have a lot of clients who actually prefer for me to make them shades lighter. So I try and give them suggestions that the goal is to make them look natural and themselves, not
Yeah,
something
you
that
don't
they're
want
not.
to overdo it, then everybody's, sometimes, I seen a girl one time that she had makeup on, but it wasn't like too obvious. Nowadays, it's like,
It's very obvious.
Obvious, yeah.
But that's also a style. Some people want you to know that they have on a full face of makeup. They like the art of it. But to each his own. Everyone has a different style of makeup. Me, the more I started to learn who I was and embrace who I was, the less amount of makeup I put on every day. To be honest, because I do makeup almost every day, I don't wear it as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Just because I'm in it all the time, washing brushes, and I've learned to love myself. Like today, I have nothing but lip gloss and glasses on,
Sure.
which is my Monday through Friday look at this point.
So
Unless
what
it's
do you
special.
tell like the little girls, like, you know, most people, like most little girls, they don't know how to do makeup, so they just try to dabble into it, and sometimes they come out and they look a little
Crazy.
bit different.
Yes.
But it's like, it's just because they don't have the knowledge. So what do you
Right.
want to tell them for the like the beginning stages?
When I talk to children about makeup, I definitely tell them to embrace their skin. Children have beautiful skin the moment they're born out the womb. They have such luscious skin, and the younger you are, the more vibrant your skin is. As you get older, you struggle with your skin. Your skin naturally produces oils, and people hate oily skin, but oily skin is actually good for you. That's how you know your skin is young and revived. When your skin stops producing oil, that's when you should be a little worried, because then you have to start putting the moisture back into
See,
your
I
skin.
thought it was the opposite. I used to have oily skin.
Oily skin is actually a good thing. It's annoying, yes, but it's actually a good thing. That's how you know you have healthy skin. So when I talk to children, I always let them know, less is more, because you already have great, vibrant skin. You don't want to ruin it at a young age. I wish that I'm proud that I've started makeup at a young age, but I wish that I didn't let my insecurities get to me where I had to feel like I needed it every day. And even with my mom, or even the Caribbean culture, my mom would look at me and be like, "You're going to Walgreens? Why don't you have a full face of makeup on?" Like, yeah, my mom's like that sometimes. And she would like kind of push me to put makeup on all the time. Now I could care less. Take me as I am,
Yeah. Is there a brand of makeup that you prefer to like dabble into or use on your clients?
Absolutely. Because we're in South Florida, it's a lot of Caribbean culture. A lot of my clients are from the Caribbean. I prefer Black Opal because they support Black skin complexion. They have a wide range, 30 plus colors probably, of colors that support us. I remember back in the day, there was a lot of brands that did not support the color of women. It was so hard to go makeup shopping and find something that would match your color without being ashy. If you look at Naomi Campbell back in the day in the 90s, a lot of women who wore makeup back in the day, their face looked dry, ashy, almost like they were dead, because they had to make up something to support them, because L'Oreal, Revlon, Maybelline did not make colors for Black women. And Black Opal is one of the staples that has created that platform for us to feel comfortable in our skin, for us to look like ourselves. There's numerous other brands that have recently come up with other brands. Rihanna dropped her line sometime. Kylie Jenner, but we gonna throw her to the back of the list just because it's a bandwagon now. Now everyone wants to support.
Is it even good? Her product, or
I wouldn't know.
Oh, you never use it?
Absolutely.
You use the Rihanna though, right?
Absolutely. I had to support my girl.
Yeah.
But I feel like now it's a bandwagon for people to support women of color, because the Black community spends the most. People don't realize that. We actually spend the most when it comes to shopping on things we kind of don't need. And the makeup industry is an industry that's never going to die, because women will always buy makeup. So I feel like brands like Black Opal and even Rihanna, they created a line for women like us to have something for us. When you go to Sephora and you try and buy foundation for yourself through Rihanna's line, it's sold out still, because she was able to create that for us, so a lot of people support her. So I have nothing but respect for her. But now it's definitely a bandwagon thing for them to have colors for all ranges of women of color now, just because they see that we're buying up now. Now they want us to buy more.
With pageants, I've seen like kids in pageants, and even like dance. I dance, so like I've seen younger girls wear like a lot of makeup for our competitions and everything. Do you believe like there's like a age limit, like for makeup?
Not at all. I feel like there's styles of makeup for different age genres. For example, I used to work for a company called Claire's, and for Claire's, they had makeup specifically for young children. Something that wasn't so strong, something that was very light. I feel like there's different looks for different age groups, and that's what people have to pay attention to. I should not see an 8-year-old contouring her face. That's for a grown woman. You know what I mean? There's certain looks for children, and there's certain looks for adults, and I feel like because makeup is in its prime, we should really be paying attention to the type of style of makeup you should be giving to the child. For example, I remember being in elementary school, and I remember like the Smuckers, those brands of lip balms with glitter in it, perfectly appropriate for a child. But I don't want to see a child with like a full set of lashes, contour, highlight, and an overlined lip. Like, that's for a grown woman. There's looks and times for everything, you know?
Yeah.
What do you have to say to the parents who do feel like they need to put makeup on their kids?
It's a little scary as a parent. I don't have any children yet, but I feel like if you allow your children to look a certain way because the style of makeup that's popular right now, you may have the wrong people staring down at your child like a grown adult because
I was about to say that.
Absolutely.
So nowadays you can't tell the difference.
You can't, and
Girls
that's
be lying
scary.
too.
That's scary.
Yeah.
At what age do you think a girl should start wearing makeup like that?
Heavily, honestly, not even. I don't even want to say heavily. I want to say in middle school, powder for oily faces is fine. I had a lot of powder for myself because my face got oily a lot. Lip gloss, mascara is fine for someone in middle school. In high school, it's a little different now because the era has changed. I know you guys see prom. These kids look like they're almost 30.
That's what I'm saying. I seen a
Yeah.
funny 16-year-old with a full beard. It connect. Mine can't connect yet.
Yeah.
So it's a little different now because, you know, as we get older, times do change. So the style of makeup will always evolve as we get older. So I would really say, you know, let your child look as youthful as possible. There is a such thing as too much. There definitely is. But prom is different now. It's very extravagant, almost like the Met Gala for these kids. And, you know, it's one day, so if they want a full glam with glitter on the lids and lashes, then I'll give it to them because it's prom. You know, you're 18, you're no longer in high school, you're considered an adult, you do a crime, you're considered as an adult. If they want to look a certain way for prom, then I'm going to do that for them. But for an everyday look for a child, absolutely not.
Have you dabbled into like costume makeup, like for stage productions, and do you like it?
Just a little bit. When I went to school and I took a makeup class, I was very reluctant. My family was very religious, went to church every Sunday, so like Halloween was like a no-no for my family.
Same here, man. My family don't believe in that shit.
At all whatsoever.
That's the devil's work.
Right.
We close our blinds.
Right. We just, you know, don't answer the door. No
The
one's
lights are off.
It's
No
funny
one's
because the
home.
kids don't even knock on my door no more.
Oh yeah, they know at this point.
That's the house y'all knock on.
Yeah, my mom might hand you a Bible at this point. So I had to get out of my comfort zone and remove my belief system from my art. And I started to actually love gory, like, sci-fi style makeup. It's a little creepy. Don't plan on doing it on myself, but if someone requests me to do it, I'll definitely do it. It's, for me, it's at this point, it's more so of the art of it, not so much of Halloween. More so of the art for me. The fact that I'm able to create an open gash wound on someone, that's kind of fascinating. Because I can make it look real. I actually sent it to my parents and like, oh my God, are you in the emergency room? I'm like, no, it's makeup. So it's actually pretty fun. You're able to legit be an artist.
So like, as far as like marketing it and trying to get like people to like do the business, how do you go about doing that?
Well, because I started on Instagram, once I started to get a large following, I started to make my page more professional versus private. So I have a lot of girls that I don't know who contact me all the time through my Instagram. And they let me know, I came across you through a hashtag. Or I'm flying into town from New Orleans, I'm going to be in Miami Beach, can you come to my hotel? And I always ask my clients, you know, how did you find me? If it's not a word of mouth, it's definitely through Instagram, definitely through Facebook, Twitter, social media.
Social media.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's what a lot of us are doing that way. Just
That's
pushing
a
it
growing
on
business.
the internet.
How do you feel about like using social media as a platform for?
The best decision, because, you know, as we get older, social media is the new thing. First it was MySpace, then it was Facebook, now it's Instagram, then Snapchat. As we get older, it's going to be something new. You know, I have to be able to keep up with the time to keep my business flowing at the end of the day. Majority of my clientele are seniors in high school, homecoming dances, prom, and I have to be able to see what are they doing, what do they like, what platforms are they using, so I'm able to grab their attention to be my next client. I'm starting to realize as I get older, and I graduated from high school in 2011, and I feel like that was last week.
Yeah, well.
And I realized that this year I had a harder time with clientele just because I don't know children in high school
Yeah, you don't
anymore.
keep up with stuff because you're older.
Yes, when I was in high school, I was super active. I was in student government, SGA, National Honor Society. I was captain of my dance team. So everyone knew me in my school. Everyone knew me in Broward County because I was so active in SGA. We went to different high schools. So everyone knew me. Now that it's been, 7+ years, I don't know anyone in high school. So these kids don't know of me. I have to stay relevant. I have to keep up with the time. So it's super important that I stick to social media and, I have a platform with kids that I stay in contact with so they get my name out there. So I have a lot of girls who are in high school right now who, for example, they have a grad bash or senior brunch. I make sure I work with them constantly for school events that I know when their prom is, I know when their special events are, I know when people are having sweet 16s. So I'm able to keep that clientele because in the next 10 years, I'm really going to have a hard time struggling with that type of clientele.
And how do you go about with everybody, there's sometimes you have that one client, they're really picky, unhappy, or they have like a picture and you're just like, that's not your skin pigment. Like, it may not look exactly like that. How do you go about dealing with a client like that?
Well, when it comes to being a makeup artist, it's not about what I feel. It's not about my opinion. It's not about what I like. It's about what the client likes. You're paying me your hard-earned dollars to give you a look that you're paying me for. I'm going to do my best to give you what you're asking for. If there's something that I know is not going to compliment you, I'm going to try and steer their point of view in a different direction to make sure I can still give them what they want without them looking crazy. So a lot of times I do have picky clients, and if I do something they don't like, let me know what it is you don't like so I could fix it so I can make you happy. Because I would hate for a client to leave my studio and complain and say that I didn't give them what they wanted, or I didn't execute the look that they were asking for, or they go home and they touch up their makeup because they didn't like it and they end up making it worse and then they're upset. So I always let them know, you have to have really tough skin. Years ago, when I was really getting into Carnival, I had someone reach out to me through Instagram. They wanted to learn more hands-on, one-on-one. So when I had gigs, I would actually allow them to come with me on my gigs and watch how I performed, watch how I worked. And now, if ever I am overbooked or I am full and I can't take any more people, I refer my clientele to that artist because I know we've worked together before and they know what I expect and I know their craft is up to par because we've worked together, I've trained with them, I've taught them some of my skills. So there's a few people where I know if I'm full, I could definitely refer my clients to and they won't be disappointed.
Do you have a site to sign up for those classes?
Yes, I do. It's a link in my Instagram.
Tell us.
So I have a booking website that's through my Instagram page, Shantell Leann Artistry LLC, and you're able to pick the look that you're going for depending on the occasion. If you're going for something very dramatic, I have a package called my Glamour Beatdown, which associates all aspects of dramatic makeup, which is my staple. That's what people know me for. My style is very dramatic. I love glitter. I love anything that's shiny. I want you to see me from a mile away. I love bottom lashes. Anything that's glamour, that's always been my style. Anything that's colorful has always been my style. I have something for the natural people who want the no makeup look. I have people, even for brides, I have a bridal package. All depending on what you're interested in, I have a package for you. So on my website, I have all of my rules and regulations for booking. Of course, I require a deposit.
Deposits.
People love to waste their time.
How much that deposit?
Well, only $20.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not
nothing.
bad.
$20.
That's really good. That's really good.
But having a deposit is very important and imperative to this career because people love to waste your time.
Fake.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of wasting time, have you ever had somebody that you did a full beat in their face and then they're like, I don't like this, I need something else different?
No.
So if someone was to do that, what would you do?
I'm gonna give them what they want.
Okay, see, that's that
I love
customer
it.
You gotta
service.
take it off.
That's that customer service now.
Yeah.
I improvise. Well, the moment you have a seat into my chair, I'm asking questions. So, what's the occasion? Where are you going? Because there's a time and place for every look. So I need to know where you're going so you don't look crazy. A lot of clients, they already have an idea of what they want to look like. Just show me a picture and I can recreate it. So I make sure that I have an idea in my head of what you want before I even touch your face. I'm asking you questions like, do you consider your skin sensitive? What do you use on your face? Does your face usually get oily or dry? I want to ask these questions so I give you the best look without you leaving unhappy.
So what's the best thing for color discoloration on skin?
Color correcting. In my face, I definitely have hyper and hypopigmentation. That means that I have light spots and dark spots. Unfortunately, that's from me suffering from papilloma, and my medication is bringing in the lighter pigments. So I have to do a lot of color correcting when I do my makeup. What I look like on Instagram probably isn't what I look like on a day-to-day basis.
You don't gotta worry about that. That's what
But
most
you
girls
look
these
beautiful.
days.
So
Thank
it
you.
doesn't matter.
But yeah, I know how to color correct. Color correcting is very important. There's people that suffer with rosacea. Rosacea is when your face is extremely red, and you know that's something you can't really hide. So color correcting kind of hides that. I have a lot of clients who suffer with a lot of skin complications that when they leave my studio, you would never know.
But I'm saying like as far as like healing it or like fixing it, like
You would have
face mask, or how does that work?
you would have to go to a dermatologist. I'm no
Dermatologist.
doctor.
Okay.
So I can't give all the answers. I don't know all the details on every skin disease, so I would hate to give someone the wrong advice based off of just looking at them. They could have diabetes, and because of the diabetes, they could suffer with really loose or dry skin. It's not really my place. I don't have the license to tell them that. So if ever it's something that you don't know, don't always rely on WebMD. Definitely go
That's my
to
boy.
a physician to
Wow.
help you. I could only hide it for so long, but definitely seek a dermatologist. That's the most important.
So what's the next step for you as far as like your career or what you want to do?
Believe it or not, I never knew I would get this far as a makeup artist. I didn't even know that this was what I was going to do 10 years ago. When I was in high school, my major was mass communications, journalism. I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to do radio. I wanted to do news broadcasting. And I chose to go to college because in the Caribbean culture, for a lot of Jamaicans, college is a must. It's college or homelessness. And my mom is actually a physician. She's in the medical field. My dad owns his own plumbing company and he does music. So it was important for me to go to college. And when I went to college, I didn't know what I was doing. I did it because it was expected of me, not because I was passionate about mass communications. I just knew that I was a people person and I loved talking to people, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. So after I got my AA, I actually went to college on a scholarship, so I didn't have to spend too much money. But after I got the AA, I was like, I gotta put out more money for this? I was like,
Yeah.
you're bugging. Like, no. I'm not trying to be in debt. I have friends who went to college before me who are in so much
Oh my
debt
gosh, those
and
loans.
cannot find a job. And
Doctors and lawyers, but they find jobs, but they always end up they're in debt too much.
oh yeah, it's scary. And the thought of debt actually scared me. So after my AA, I decided to drop out and push my makeup business because I've been doing makeup since high school. So while I was in college, I was doing makeup. A lot of people didn't know. I had people that would like DM me on Instagram and say, hey, I have an event, can you do my makeup? So I made extra money in college doing makeup. So after my AA, I decided to push it full throttle, and I did makeup for maybe 3 or 4 years after that, until I decided to go to school and get a license in skincare.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's
So
amazing.
where can everybody find you as far as like your social medias and your businesses?
All right, on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, on every platform of social media. My Instagram and all of my social media names is Shantell Leann. I have 3 L's in my name, so SHANTELLLEANN. Pretty long name, but I promise you, you will find me. I hashtag a lot, so I have a lot of people find me through hashtags on everything.
What's the hashtag?
Miami makeup artist, Broward makeup artist, Fort Lauderdale makeup artist. You'll find me. You'll find me. I feel like in Broward County especially, it's a lot of competition because every day I wake up, there's a new makeup artist following
Yeah, I was
me.
just about to talk to you about that.
It's
2
hard.
3 years ago, it was like rare. Now it's everywhere.
It's like, it's in everything like water. Like,
Yeah.
it's oversaturated. But what I will say is there's enough money out here for everybody.
I like that.
I feel like if you're passionate about something, you're gonna keep doing it. If you're in it for the money, you're not gonna last that long. I've been doing this since high school. There's no way I'm gonna stop now just because I have 300 new makeup artists following me. It's super important to me. It's something that is a part of my lifestyle at this point. So I don't let the competition bother me because I legit know in my area alone, there's like 4 or 5 makeup artists down the street. I don't let that
Hold you back.
hold me back.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
you're teaching them, so that shows you that you're not afraid of competition because you're
Right.
teaching people. Yeah.
Exactly. Every day I'm learning. To be honest, I don't believe that I learned anything from going to school for a makeup artist. I feel like I learned from trial and error and practicing every day. The school just provided me the license. I don't feel like they taught me anything that I didn't already know.
All right, let's talk about this school thing. What was the fraud you were saying? What's going on?
Woo! This is gonna get a little touchy. So, is it okay for me to say the school's name? I don't
Yeah,
know.
go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I went to Boca Beauty Academy last year. I went for skincare because there is no license to be a makeup artist. Makeup artist is freelance because we're not cutting into skin. Because I'm not literally ruining your skin, I'm just on the surface, there is no license for it. But I wanted to be legit, I wanted to show my family that this is something I took seriously, so I decided to do skincare. When I went to the school, they also suggested I take a makeup course. Now, they already knew that I was doing this for some time and I already had my own business, so the person that I spoke to actually recommended that I not take the makeup course, but I thought, hey, what would it hurt? Let me just check it out, see what I may learn. Because I only knew based upon whatever I learned on social media and YouTube. I didn't know the history of makeup until I went to the school. So I took a skincare class first, learned a lot about skincare, which helped me in the long run with my personal issues with skincare. So I actually loved the course. But before I even got to the makeup course, I had students warning me not to take it. It was a waste of my time. A lot of people in the school knew me on Instagram already, so they were like, you don't need the class. But I was like, let me check it out. I took the class, and when I got the kit, they had no makeup to support Black women.
Wow.
I could not use the kit on me at all. And I spent well over 10 grand at this school to have no foundation for me. I was offended. I felt some type of way. So I went to administration and I spoke to them about it. And one of the administrators at the school told me, oh, well, since you're a makeup artist, you should know if you're a real artist, you should mix eyeshadows to get your foundation color. I was so offended. That was the last day at my school. I literally told them, withdraw me, I'm done, y'all could bill me. Like, I was really offended.
You still owe them money?
Of course.
They're not getting it though.
Unfortunately,
you have no other choice. They don't. They
They
go like
shouldn't.
debt collection and stuff.
right.
Yeah.
They're gonna get it. But I was really offended. Like, I've never in my 25 years had anybody tell me mix eyeshadow. So I left the school. Of course, they billed me. And like 6 months later, I was like, I'm not a quitter. I really wanted my certificate. And I couldn't get that certificate until I finished the course. So I decided to go back to the school. And the irony is that the person who told me that was actually fired for doing fraud. Look at God.
God is so good.
And right, and I decided to finish that makeup course. And at that point, they had a new teacher named Miss Stacy at the school who was such a blessing in disguise. This woman has been in the makeup industry for years, worked for a lot of companies, and was able to give me advice on a more business level, not just makeup, because everyone knew I knew what I was doing as an artist, not as a businesswoman. So she put me up on game. She really took me on the ropes of like contracts and how to handle clients when they try and screw you over. So I'm very thankful that I went back when I did, because I would have never met this teacher if I didn't go back.
You want to give a couple pointers to people, business-wise, how to handle clients, contracts.
It's super important that you have a contract. People try and screw you over. When you make a deposit on my website, your deposit is you signing on to my contract, agreeing to my terms and regulations. So if you don't agree, then don't make that deposit and you don't have to book me. The moment I get that deposit, you know you have a 15-minute grace period to reach me. If you don't, your appointment is canceled and you lose that deposit.
Yeah, I was gonna say people must be asking for refunds sometimes.
Oh, never, because you know when you click the link to my website,
That's what you're saying.
it's the first thing you see. Before you even see a portfolio of my work, you see what I require. And if you don't like it, you don't have to make that deposit. I'm not forcing anyone to. But once I get that deposit, you're consenting to what I expect. All I want you to do is show up on time, be imperative, communicate with me if anything changes or happens, mistakes happen, emergencies happen. I'm understanding. If you communicate with me, I can work with you. If you don't, I can't help you. But definitely having a contract is number one. Deposits are number one. I've had a client expect me to drive to Miami Beach to do her makeup at her hotel, and when I got there, she canceled on me.
Wow.
And that hurt because I live in Fort Lauderdale.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a lot of gas that I had to blow. And it was traffic. It was like 11 o'clock at night. I was by myself.
Miami is fast paced.
I missed out. I missed out on other clientele because of people being unprofessional. So it's super important that, charge your worth and add tax. don't settle. I feel like a lot of people in the makeup industry that are just coming in, they're on Instagram and social media doing full faces for like $20, $40,
Don't take anything.
which is ruining the business for professionals like myself who definitely charge more than that. People rather charge $10, $20 for a full face, but you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Quality over quantity.
That's right. So I feel like, you know, if you're not blooming, you know, take your time, be patient. Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It took me some years to get to where I am now. And I'm still not the best. There's still a lot of makeup artists out here that are really doing the damn thing, that are really showing out. And, you know, I'm not in competition with anyone but myself. I don't compare myself to any other artist. My work is like none other. And no other artist has gone through the trials and tribulations I have gone through. So I do not compare my work to anybody else. There's a lot of makeup artists out here that are really doing it and doing celebrities, and they're from the same city that I'm from. And you know what? They're definitely like setting the bar high. And I'm nothing but proud of them because they've come a long way.
Well, we appreciate you, Ms. Shantell. Once again, do you want to give them your Instagram name and all that stuff?
Yes. Once again, social media, Shantell Leann, Shantell Leann, on all social websites.
Okay.
You could Google me.
If you guys want a full face, you guys go to her. You
For
already
the
have
culture.
contact. For the culture.
Travel, see me Carnival, October, I will be Pon de Road, so just wait on it. Coming hard this year. About to get Carnival ready. Just stay tuned.
Alright, we out.